Well, hello, Florida Southern Moccasins, and welcome to this mini course on digital content management and consumer engagement, uh, focusing on the esports industry. So let me share my screen and we can get right into the week one lecture. So let's start with who am I and why should you pay attention to me? My name is Don Marinelli. Was a professor at Carnegie Mellon University for 31 years. I started out as the associate head of drama. If you're not aware of it, Carnegie Mellon is the oldest drama school in the country, very famous. And I did that for 15 years until the mid 90s when I realized that interactive digital media was going to win, was basically going to eat our lunch in the theater and every place else. So I realized gaming was the next big thing. So I went over to the School of Computer Science, and within 2 years, I helped found the Entertainment Technology Center with my late colleague, Randy Pausch, who became world famous for recording something called The Last Lecture. And if you're interested in quite a story, go on YouTube and look at The Last Lecture. And Randy, he was really the cause célèbre worldwide in 2007, 2008. When he left, I took over the Entertainment Technology Center and made it a global operation. So I had campuses in Japan and in Australia and in England, Spain, Portugal, dual degree programs galore in South Korea, a dual degree program with the National University of Singapore, etc. But after 31 years, I was tired. So I retired, and as a result, I'm now busier than ever. So I was hired immediately thereafter by Arizona State University, where I'm still affiliated, and I'm in the Arts, Media, and Engineering program. And in fact, I teach esports for them and am responsible for Arts, Media, and Engineering having its own esports facility right now. Then about 7 years ago, Columbia University in the city of New York, where I'm originally from, reached out to me, and I teach on the graduate courses on technology management. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, Florida Southern reached out to me, and I've been teaching esports related courses for Florida Southern ever since. Now, since then, most recently, I was hired by the president of Point Park University here in Pittsburgh to help them implement their strategic plan, which is a lot of fun because I live in Pittsburgh. And I've also just signed on with Van Lang University in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, South in Vietnam, where I'll be their global ambassador. But my involvement in esports, while familiarity with it stems from my time in Korea, it really goes back to InVen Global, where I'd say about 8 or 9 years ago, some venture capitalists here in Pittsburgh came to me and said, "What's the next big thing?" And I said, "If you want to know what the next big thing is, you have to look to Asia. And that happens to be esports." So bottom line, we invested a lot of money in bringing Korea's #1 esports media company, InVen, to the United States. They're based in Irvine, California, and it's InVen Global. And in fact, go to the website, InVen Global, and you will see the latest news about esports, primarily about the esports players and all that. So that's why maybe you should pay some attention to what I have to say. Now, about the course. Upon successful completion of this course, you will hopefully be able to comprehend the whole concept of digital content management, DCM. You will understand the social media constructs and outlets that have fueled the rise of esports. You'll be able to delineate news and media sites functioning within the esports universe, and will understand how individual esports brands have been created and sustained. You'll be able to recognize and cognize valuable performance data from data aggregation sites. And the one great thing about digital media in all forms is that nothing is ever lost. And because of that, we have tremendous amounts of data, which is why data analytics has become a major in and of itself, as well as the ability to portray this data in ways graphically that make sense, that are easily recognizable and somewhat intuitive. You'll also be able to recognize and identify unique chatters, new followers, and subscribers. You will understand the rise of the esports influencer, all right, a career that did not exist for most of my life, but is now a genuine aspiration for many young people. And you will understand niche marketing and how to take advantage of the influencer marketing strategies. You'll understand the structure of microtransactions that are associated with streaming. You'll develop a cohesive esports streaming strategy, we hope. You will understand how to extend cross-channel brand partnerships, appreciate the role of shoutcasters in esports. Notice we don't call them broadcasters, we call them shoutcasters, because the movement, the action in an online esports game is so fast that it does not lend itself to the sort of casual play-by-play that you find in traditional sports. You'll be able to craft an esports digital marketing and social media plan, that'll be your final, and understand the connection between esports, Comic-Cons, and cosplay. That's a lot that we're hoping to do in this short amount of time. But I'd love to show this slide to all of you, because esports is not just about esports. There are myriad transferable skills that are developed through this participation in esports. And the British Esports Association put together this terrific slide, which I love to show. I don't know how many of you are really thinking about esports as a sports possibility as far as a career or industry, but you will notice the myriad roles that are available in esports, okay? And the academic links, you could almost say, what's the STEM and STEAM that's involved in esports? Well, here it is. And how this prepares you or can open the door for all these variety of careers. Okay, so this is not a frivolous class. This is not a throwaway. This is not an easy A or what have you. This is quite serious. And I'm going to say that even though we're talking about esports, esports as a business, esports as an industry is so new that it is developing methodologies and approaches to revenue generation that a lot of traditional businesses are doing and are going to have to do in the future. Okay, once again, there's an esports ecosystem, okay? It's not just games. There's an esports ecosystem where, yeah, there are games, but those games are tied to publishers. That's the one unique aspect of esports, in that the actual sport itself, the specific game, is owned by a publisher. It is not owned by the NFL. It is not owned by MLB. It's not owned by NBA. And even they do not own their sports. They own the franchises, the organization of the franchises, and they come up with collective bargaining agreements with the players and all that. But anybody can go to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a football and make up their own game, or buy a hockey stick and make up your own game. That is not the case in esports. In esports, it is about the publishers. And through the publishers, a whole industry has been created where there needs to be platforms. All right, platforms we're going to see are everything from the operating systems of the consoles to the PCs. There have to be competitions and sponsors. And at the very least, it's a 1v machine, and that you're competing with a game. You're going to see that on streamers. And then when competitors come together, you've got teams, and then you've got the individual streamers, which we're going to be focusing on a great deal here. Another example of the ecosystem of esports, we're going to be focusing a great deal on streamers, on the various broadcasting platforms. We're not going to be focusing very much on the games or even the event organizers. We will touch upon tournaments and leagues, and we are going to be looking at individual players as they are examples of successful streamers, okay? So week one, what we're here to do this week is understand the role that Twitch played in bringing esports into entertainment prominence. You'll understand the differences between Twitch, YouTube, and as the weeks go on, other streaming networks as they pertain to esports. Because there's Facebook gaming, and the latest competitor is Kick. A recently deceased one is Mixer. You will understand the business acumen that promoted Amazon to purchase Twitch. That in and of itself is a fascinating study. You'll identify and differentiate payment strategies used by Twitch and YouTube, because for all the fun that's involved in all this, it's about how do I make money, okay? You'll possess a solid understanding of the analytics used by these streaming services, and you'll identify the existing advertising business structure of Twitch and YouTube. You'll understand the differences between non-partnered Twitch channels versus affiliated channels. You'll also understand what a partnered Twitch channel is versus an affiliated channel. And you'll understand the delineation between quality transcode options that are based on available capacity. How's this course being graded? Basically, it's being graded on weekly assignments, weekly written assignments. For example, the first one is going to be report on a specific Twitch or YouTube esports channel, not an individual player, on a channel. Then report on a specific esports brand and its media strategy. Then report on an esports news aggregation forum. That could be something like Reddit, Vote. It could be Discord. It could be a slew of them. We're going to get into them. You can craft. Now, the midterm is basically the proposal for your final. And that is for you to craft a digital marketing social media plan, okay? And this is your proposal, so I can review it and give you feedback. My goal in every class I teach is that you don't work on something where at the end of the semester you throw it away. I view everything as a potential addition to your portfolio. Because if you put together a solid digital marketing social media plan, and you're an MBA, and you're going out there to promote yourselves, and that you understand the modern world in terms of digital media, this will be a document that you can show and convince people that you can walk the talk. After that, you'll report on the current and future hardware landscape of digital content management. And then you'll report on a traditional sport corporation's involvement with esports. Because one of the things we're going to be highlighting is how traditional sports globally have gotten involved in esports. So you've got teams like the Patriots, the Mavericks, the Steelers, the 76ers, who have all invested to some degree in esports. And then finally, the final is craft a digital marketing and social media plan for an esports entity. Okay? This is what needs to be in the final exam. Okay, basically the final document. It's in the PowerPoint that's already posted. You can read it for yourself, and we'll be going over this as we get closer to the midterm and what have you. So let's go to the origins. Esports is a particularly Asian creation, and it comes from South Korea. South Korea, you could say, is the mecca, for lack of for analysis, is the mecca of esports. Everyone who's involved in esports, who is a gamer, a player, a producer, and all that, we like genuflect to South Korea, which is fascinating because hopefully you've heard enough or learned enough American history to know about the Korean War. All right, the Korean War lasted from 1950 to 1953. I was born in 1953. I had nothing to do with the war, but that devastated the complete peninsula. Okay, totally devastated it. And so you literally were starting from scratch. And the South Korean government sought some way to soften the severe financial crises. And it did that by being very prescient. Prescient means forward thinking, by developing its internet and telecommunications infrastructure, which was really quite brilliant and really quite challenging because South Korea, the country itself, is the size of the state of Indiana, right? Put that in your head. Now, take the state of Indiana and turn 70% of it into mountains, okay? Mountains. Mountains are great. Mountains are wonderful. You need them for skiing, blah, 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 but they're lousy to live in, especially if you have 60 plus million people, which South Korea has. And so that leaves 30% of the land for 60 plus million people to live on. Now, picture that in Indiana, right? So the result is a very compact country. All right. Seoul's got about 15 million people. Incheon to Seoul is now like one big megapolis. And so you have everybody living in giant high rises. And unlike China, South Korea did not have any limitation on offspring. Like China had the one child per family. South Korea, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's up to you. So what that meant was you had a lot of crowded apartments. So what did young people seek? They sought a place to go where they could be among themselves and do things that they like. And that was the creation of PC bongs. Bong is simply a Korean word that means room. So these were rooms filled with PCs. They were restaurants, bars, and other spaces that functioned as well as gaming clubs. So these clubs became as ubiquitous as neighborhood basketball courts in Manhattan or Brooklyn. But they were places where gamers would gather together. They'd show off their skills to one another, and they would bond over a shared love for video gaming. Eventually, with all of this density of young people loving to do something, competitions began to take place. And they were great hangouts for young Koreans, right? You could go play games and get your corn dog and get your ramen noodle. And I can tell you that in the years since, the menu, right? The menu of these places has improved dramatically. But this gives you an example of the social origins of esports. This has carried over into the United States. In the United States, esports will have more viewers than every professional sport league but the NFL by 2021. Now, I've got to give you a warning. Don't believe everything you see on the internet, because some of it is pretty obvious hyperbole. For example, in 2018, US esports viewing figures totaled 25.7 million. In 19, it grew to 30.3 million. In 2020, it grew to 34.8 million. And this year, esports viewing figures are estimated to be 39.2 million. Okay, that's this year. But if you take a look here, it shows esports viewership as being like closer to 70 million. That's incorrect. What isn't incorrect is the fact that among your generation, among Gen Z and among millennials, esports has overall a larger viewership than every professional sports league, save the NFL. And I'm putting my money on the fact that it will beat them, beat the NFL before you know it. Okay, especially if the NFL continues becoming what it's becoming, which is kind of boring. Okay, now I want to focus on Twitch. I want to focus on Twitch because Twitch is why we have esports as a phenomenon in the United States. And Twitch has become the thing. If you're not familiar with Twitch, it's real simple. Get on the internet, type in Twitch, and you will discover a world of video game plus other communal gatherings. Okay? Twitch promoted itself rather brilliantly. The syllogism is games are social. Yes. Video is their language. So if we put games and video together, we need a platform. Twitch is their platform. Now, Twitch is a business, right? So it's bringing brands, game publishers, and viewers together with strategic ad solutions in a social video environment. Now, Twitch is owned by Amazon. It's a fascinating case study because Amazon bought Twitch in 2014. It paid $970 million, roughly $1 billion, to buy this gaming site that literally had no revenue. No revenue. Now, why would you pay $970 million for a site with no revenue? It's real simple. Forget the revenue. Who's watching it? Those eyeballs belong to who? And those eyeballs belong to millennials and Gen Z. And that is the growing market, because I am a baby boomer. And it was within the last decade that millennials and Gen Z replaced baby boomers as the single largest demographic in the United States. And they did that for one simple reason. We are dying. We're dying off. There are no more baby boomers being born. However, there are more Gen Z or Gen Z plus being born. Millennials are reaching their prime of their life. And when we talk about the maturation of one's life, we're talking about the acquisition of wealth, and wealth will lead to leisure dollars, as well as investing in what brings you joy. So you can see here that Amazon invested the most money in Twitch other than shoes, okay? Very, very significant. And revenue streams of Amazon are really significant. The online stores themselves generate 50.4% of the revenue. Third-party seller services, which is where they get a commission on something, they got the shipping fees, the other services, that brings in roughly 20%. Then you've got subscription services, Prime, which brings in 6.8%. 12.5% is the cloud, right? The Amazon Web Services. And then physical stores, which really has not been successful, was only 6.1%. And you can see here that while Amazon is somewhat global, it is primarily a United States operation, right? Primarily United States. It does not operate in China, and we'll be talking, I could talk about Asia at some other time, okay? Now, so what is Twitch? Twitch is a site that you can go on to watch individuals play games. And the fantastic thing about digital media is that it's all real time, right? Real time. In other words, at the time this screenshot was taken, there were 137,411 people watching others play Dota 2, Defense of the Ancients 2, okay? That does not mean that 137,411 viewers were concurrent on one particular Dota game. The fact is there were probably scores, if not hundreds, of individuals playing Dota 2, which divided this pool of 137,411 viewers. The same applies to League of Legends, Minecraft, Counter-Strike, Hearthstone, WoW, and the rest. But this is really the crux of Twitch, okay? Now, how important is Twitch? Well, let's see. Almost 1 billion hours of watch time just in March of 2019, which was a 50% increase over the previous year. Notice this is before the pandemic. So these figures went up even more. Who's watching Twitch? Go back to Amazon's brilliant strategy, 75% of millennials. Add the millennials with the Gen Z, and you can see the why this is so important. Now, 82% at this time were male. That figure has balanced out a bit more, but it's still overwhelmingly male. The average age of the user is 21. And of these users, right, 105 minutes was spent each day on the platform by the average user. And then as a preview of what we're going to be talking about, Twitch at that time had 27,000 partnered streamers and 220,000 affiliate streamers. We're going to break that down so you understand, because each one has a different significance and ranking in Twitch, which also impacts the revenue stream, okay? So when we talk about Twitch, we're talking about live streaming, right? Live streaming. Live streaming is the lifeblood of Twitch. It is so much the lifeblood that there are YouTube videos, there are websites that are there to teach you how to stream on Twitch, which is fascinating as a drama professor, because it's basically telling you how to become a performer, how to become a solo performer with a particular tool which happens to be the game, but also requiring ongoing banter communication with a live audience. Okay. So to become a streamer, it's rather simple. Okay. You've got to have a webcam because people want to watch you playing the game. You will need a microphone scissor stand with a pop screen. A pop screen is there to remove the P's that pop when you say them. You know, like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. That would result in a bunch of pops unless there was a pop screen. Then you need an audio interface. And that is because you will be talking to your followers while you're playing the game. So this is, you need lighting. Obviously, you need a gaming keyboard. You will need headsets, all right, so that you are totally able to listen to everything coming in. You will need a gaming mouse, etc. Right? But this is an investment. This is the initial investment that a streamer must make. And talking about streamers, total hour stream, Twitch 91.1%, 205.6 million hour stream versus the other competing platforms, which are YouTube and Facebook. YouTube is second largest when it comes to streaming games. Facebook is third. Now, with unique channels, Twitch has 90%. There are 10,570,422 at this time unique channels. That is literally unique individuals who are playing their games or who are doing other things. We're going to be talking about just chatting in a minute. So that more than dwarfs YouTube gaming and Facebook. Although we're going to find out that YouTube and Facebook are in fact making inroads. So when we look at total hours watched, this was with the third quarter of 2020, Twitch had 63%, YouTube 22%, Facebook 14%. Here's where things get interesting. YouTube and Facebook are significantly ahead of Twitch on at least one important measure. That measure is hours watched per hour streamed. So while Twitch has 10 times more unique channels than YouTube gaming and almost 50 times more than Facebook, the gap in hours watched is much, much closer. Now, one of your jobs as a business person is to say, well, gee, how come the viewers of gaming on Twitch and Facebook have a greater stick-to-itiveness than on Twitch? You know, does it have to do with the quality of the stream, the quality of the gamer? Does it have to do with some of the specific attributes that you can find on YouTube gaming and Facebook, which we'll talk about in a bit? These are the decisions you have to make. Now, what are they watching? Well, even though this is from 2018, it's still the same. League of Legends is by far the #1 game that is being watched. Riot has made billions of dollars from League of Legends and all that. The rest of the pie varies. Counter-Strike Global Offensive has really increased tremendously. Hearthstone, so-so. Dota 2 in North America is really nowhere near as popular as it is in Asia. Fortnite, it depends, right? It depends if there's a tournament going on. And PUBG, you know, which is kind of like Counter-Strike, you know, a first-person shooter, that also depends because it might be replaced by Apex Legends or what have you. But again, we're not going to focus on the games themselves, but just for your awareness, League of Legends remains the #1 game. What we are going to focus on, though, are the individuals who are streaming, right? And the fact of I want to go back. The fact of the matter is, you can see that these are the Twitch top channels by hours watched just for 1 week, January 11th to 17th of 2021. And these statistics come to us from the Esports Observer, which is a very good esports media aggregation site based in Berlin, Germany, which was recently purchased by Sports Business Journal. And you can see how the Greg FG, who's Spanish, in that 1 week had 6.39 million hours watched. And you can go on down there. I would be stupefied if I was Trimax in 1 week if my game playing attracted 2.04 million hours watched. So this is big business. This is a phenomenon. You could almost say it's a 21st century phenomenon, a Gen Z phenomenon, but it's a phenomenon that you are very smart taking this class because it is going to grow and impact everything else. Now, the fascinating thing, I showed you that League of Legends is the #1 game watched on Twitch, but the second most watched category is not a gaming category. It is called just chatting. And it is precisely that. It is an aggregation of channels that are, I want to talk about this particular topic. I want to talk about that particular topic. And it, if anything, it emphasizes how Twitch, which began as a gaming site, has expanded to become really a gathering of various social communities. For example, and as you know, my master's is in clinical psychology, so I find it fascinating that there are basically 29,000 viewers who just want to chat. Like they want to find out who you are, who am I, where do you live, what's it like there, because in many respects, what it's saying to me is the need for social engagement. And since there's so little social engagement face to face now compared to the past, that online becomes our polis, Polis, the Greek like Acropolis, where people gathered to discuss things. But you had 15,000 who want to talk about talk shows and podcasts, 5,000 who want to talk about music and performing arts, under 1,000 who want to talk about science and technology, and 3 people who wanted to talk about sports and fitness, okay? ASM was autonomous sensory meridian response. I'll leave it to you to figure out what that is. So you can see here that Twitch, which began as a social gaming site, has now expanded into becoming a social site. Keep this in mind, because when we talk about competing sites like Discord and Reddit, we're going to find that they also have this dynamic. Okay? Now, Twitch has done something very interesting. It's called watch parties. So Twitch did something very smart, understanding the social dynamic of gaming and digital media in general. They created watch parties, okay? With watch parties, Twitch communities can come together online to watch, react, and discuss any movie or TV show that is available with their Amazon Prime or Prime Video subscription directly on Twitch. Okay, so Twitch becomes basically a distribution platform for a lot of content. Watch Parties is currently available to all creators and viewers on desktop, web, and Twitch, iOS, and Android apps. Really a brilliant idea. So let's get back to how do you stream on Twitch and YouTube, okay? Which brings us to Twitch-onomics. Because again, you're doing this not just for the notoriety, not simply to become a celebrity, but to earn some money while you're doing it, okay? So the stream itself, we looked at the setup. It consists of the main video, and the main video is going to be the game that is being played. There's that additional webcam with a view of the streamer, and while it says optional, it's not optional. You got to have it. And the Twitch chat to the right side of the main video. Do not discount the importance of the chat. Each broadcaster has their own channel page. Remember, we said Twitch has more than 10 million channels. Now, these individual channel pages can be customized with information about who you are, the streamer, and rules for the channel. And that information is usually found below the main video and often contains links to the streamer's social media accounts and sponsors. So what was just revealed? If you're a streamer, odds are very good you have your own additional social media accounts on other channels. And depending upon your prominence and you're business savvy, there are probably sponsors on those channels or even on your stream that want to get their product or services out to your viewership. Okay. How important is it? Remember, we talked about Greg FG. This is money earned during the lockdown. Okay. He earned $851,000, $8,000 total. Notice the breakdown. He earned $99,000 from Twitch, $752,000 from YouTube. This gives you an insight into the core of capitalism, which is competition. Because YouTube stole Greg FG from Twitch, okay? In the same way that Oron Play also was stolen. But then you get Summit 1G, who was like, no, I'm sticking with Twitch. And we're going to go into the dynamics and the finances of stealing players, not stealing players. In fact, it's one of the issues that is contributing to the concern about unionization in esports, because of the facility in which you can move from one team to another, you can jump ship, what have you. Okay. It's global. Twitch streamers around the world. These are where the highest base streamers are based. Okay, you'll notice a great deal in North America, the US and Canada, but it also includes South America. It includes Europe. It includes, a lot of countries. And the fact of the matter is, in the future, when we talk about trends for esports, this is the old world. The new world is going to be the Middle East, and it's going to be Southeast Asia. That's not to discount China and Japan and all that, but the esports economy there is pretty much set. And I can tell you that if China invades Taiwan, all bets are off in terms of Asia. Okay. Now, how do you earn money? Let's get down to it, Don. Let's get down to it. Streamers earn money on Twitch through a variety of means. One is through crowd-funded subscriptions. Then there are viewer donations and its own particular currency, Twitch bits. That's another form of viewer donation. Now, let's go back to crowdfunding. I'm sure you're familiar with the term. You might even have engaged in some. Crowdfunding is a way to raise money from many people. So the ideal is to get large groups of people to pool together small individual investments to provide the capital needed to get a company or a project or you off the ground. Now that we're entering the political years, although it never seems to stop, you'll be hearing more and more about, well, I've garnered more money from more people who gave smaller donations, so that should indicate that I'm more popular. That's the sort of mindset that's going on. Now, individuals, companies, or charities can create a campaign for a specific cause to which anyone can contribute. Because on that slide for Twitch that I showed earlier, the very purple one, there was a side note there that said Twitch had raised $75 million for charities. So a charity can indeed take advantage of being a channel and being crowdfunded. However, streamers also really want to make money from ads, brand sponsorships, affiliate marketing, merchandise, and game sales, which leads us to a ranking of the opportunities available on Twitch. Let's start with the Twitch affiliate program. This offers individuals the ability to earn revenue while streaming. Now, a Twitch partner receives many perks. You get extra emotes, you get 60 days of past broadcast storage, you get dedicated financial support, which basically means they keep track of the money, and the ability for fans to subscribe to their channels. Twitch partners earn money just like affiliates do, but they also get a lot of other added bonuses alongside the money, and these added bonuses can improve the quality of content or quality of engagement with their audience. We'll be going into that. Additionally, these partners also unlock the ability to receive revenue from Twitch ads. Okay? What's the eligibility for each? This will probably shock you because it doesn't seem like much, right? To become a Twitch affiliate, you need at least 500 total minutes broadcast in the last 30 days. Within those last 30 days, you need at least 7 unique broadcast days. And when you're broadcasting, you need an average of at least 3 concurrent viewers or more over the last 30 days. Concurrent viewers means there's 3 of us watching you play the game right now. A Twitch partner, the main requirement is obviously upping the game. You need to stream for 25 hours in the last 30 days. You need to stream for 12 unique days in the last 30 days. And you need to reach 75 average viewers in the last 30 days. Now, buying a channel subscription is fast, easy, and secure. It's beyond fast, easy, and secure, because you can not only pay with your credit card or through PayPal, but you can also use gift cards that you have been given by grandma and grandpa that you're never going to use as money to give to your favorite player. And we're talking about all manner of gift cards. You know, first of all, I don't know who I'm a grandfather. I'm not giving my grandchild Dollar General gift cards, but somebody probably did, right? And rather than go to Dollar General, they may very well say, I want to support Don because he's a great streamer. He's a lot of fun to watch. And while I'm watching him play LOL, I'm learning things about this. So you can see how Twitch did something very, very smart in basically accessing and tapping into all manner of currency, okay? All of this yields what? The typical expert streamer makes between $3,000 and $5,000 per month by playing 40 hours per week. Now, I can already hear you all sighing because you're like, well, wait a minute. 40 hours of gaming per week, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of intensity. And I'm doing that so I could make, what, $1,000, about $1,250 a week for $5,000 per month. Well, you got to compare that to working on an assembly line or doing widgets or something like that. Now, the more average streamers will make roughly $250 in ad revenue per 100 subscribers, or $3.50 per 1,000 views. So again, to start earning money on Twitch, you need to really start earning money. You need to have roughly 500 regular viewers. Now, how do you get this money? Right? Let's say you've been fortunate enough to earn the money. How do you get it? Well, Twitch's standard payout period is net 15. What does that mean? At the end of each calendar month, there is a check. This is not a written check. They're like looking. They are looking to see if your account balance since your last payout is $100 or more. If it is, a payment would be scheduled for 15 days after the end of the month for the current account balance. Pretty open, pretty knowledgeable. How am I going to get this money? Well, there's a variety of ways. The easiest way is called an automated clearinghouse. The ACH deposits your payout directly into your bank account within 1 to 4 days. This is only available to U.S. residents. The other option is a local bank payout method, or what's called an e-check. And it's a new convenient method for non-U.S. affiliates. What the e-check does is it converts the payout from U.S. dollars to whatever your local currency is, but it does it for a fee. And the exchange rate is similar to that charged by an ATM. That payout takes 1 to 2 days. But remember, they've taken some of that money out for a fee. There's also PayPal. God bless PayPal. Or you can be really traditional and get a check, but getting a check takes the longest to reach you. Or you can get it through wire transfer. You're really not going to get wire transfer unless you're going to get a lot of money. This usually incurs an extra fee by your bank, and even more so for international wire transfers. And it might trigger other charges too, known as the government. Now, we had mentioned Twitch bits as another way of paying a streamer and complimenting a streamer for the enjoyment that they create. Twitch bits are essentially a virtual currency used by Twitch as an alternative way viewers can financially support creators and streamers. And this really began way back by Disney, when Disney created Disney dollars, okay, Disney dollars, which were the exactly the same value as a U.S. dollar, except instead of like George Washington or Abraham Lincoln, it had a Disney character on it. And Disney's idea there, which was rather brilliant, was, okay, you convert that $10 bill, but instead of Andrew Jackson or whoever the hell is on it, you get Pluto, and rather than spend it, you take it home. So you just got a paper with Pluto's picture on it, and Disney just pocketed $10. Brilliant, maybe even devious. So with Twitch bits, while viewers can support their favorite streamers through tiered subscriptions, Twitch Prime subscriptions or real money donations, bits are cheered rather than donated, okay? But cheered means that basically you're simply giving them. It's like giving a child a gold star for doing some good work in elementary school. Now, I've been focusing on Twitch, but we cannot ignore YouTube, okay? YouTube gaming is an extension on the overall YouTube brand and gives a place for all gaming content on the platform to go. All right, remember, YouTube is owned by Google, right? Twitch is owned by Amazon. This is like Godzilla fighting Rodan or some other, giant monster. Now, the YouTube gaming works very much like Twitch, but it has the ability to play back while the live stream is happening. Why is that important? Because the streamer may have done a really terrific move in this game, and you want to go back and see how that was done so that you can learn something. By gaming on YouTube, it also saves the video to the streamer's YouTube channel, does that automatically. So in that regard, the platform offers both on-demand and live gaming content, as well as streaming major esports tournaments across the globe. And YouTube has really tried to make a name for itself by being the exclusive partner for a host of tournaments, which we'll get into. Now, how is YouTube income generated? YouTube income is generated by advertisements through AdSense, as well as sponsorships with popular brands and affiliate links. YouTube pays you only after a person has earned $100 or more from placing ads on that person's channel and or videos. Now, this payment for ads is based on the number of clicks on these ads. Very important distinction. Therefore, there is no direct correlation between YouTube payment and whether you get likes or views. You could have 1,000 people watching you who like you or who have viewed your account, but if they do not click on the ad that also is part of your stream, you get niente, nada, you don't get a thing, okay? Now, videos made available on YouTube Premium, the site's ad-free subscription service, they earn a portion of the revenue from membership fees based on how much members, about how many members view your videos. So all of this leads to the streamer who has become an influencer. Right? When I was growing up, the influencer was the athlete who happened to be on the cover of the Wheaties box, all right? Or when you went into the drugstore, you had Babe Ruth or Ted Williams promoting Pepsi or Coca-Cola, or what was really kind of shocking nowadays, how many athletes were promoting tobacco products and all that. Digital media has changed everything to the point where that kid playing games on YouTube or on the Twitch has got such a following that he or she can have great influence on the life, the lifestyle, the culture, the accoutrements of life for the followers, okay? That is why you have sites that list the top 20 esports influencers, right? The top 20 esports influencers you should know, okay? And when you take a look at the highest paid Twitch streamers in the world, the fact of the matter is most of them are in fact influencers. And the reason they are making this much money is because of the advertising, the sponsorships, the subscriptions that they happen to have. So what are the keys to being a streamer and an influencer? Believe it or not, it comes back to good old-fashioned trustworthiness. And influencers become an authority by earning people's trust. They have to demonstrate an in-depth understanding of what they cover. And as a result, they need to make suggestions that are based on careful thought and research. That's why they don't just accept any brand. They share what they sincerely believe to be true and behave with transparency. And they have to follow through on their commitments and keep their promises to viewers and sponsors. In fact, it's funny because right now the current, I think, YouTube issue is Kid Rock. Kid Rock, when Bud Light came out with its influencer campaign for the LGBTQ plus, he was famous for taking a gun and shooting up a case of Bud Light. And now there's recently a video of Kid Rock drinking a can of Bud Light. And people are like, so what the hell was this all about? I mean, do you believe? Are you saying that we should change now? So it's that sort of thing that if you are an influencer, you got to be on your game 24/7, 365. But equally important is consistency. And this consistency is what's come out in just the numbers, like how do you become a Twitch partner? How do you become a Twitch affiliate? Which means you need to maintain high quality standards for streams, which means you got to be a performer. You can't produce dull, uneven, or lazy work. Even more so, you need to stick to an active streaming schedule, one your viewers need to know about. Now, that doesn't mean you have to stream daily, but that you need to provide reliable, scheduled content. Like if I'm going to be a streamer, I got to let my people know that I'm going to be online from midnight to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, something like that. I also, though, need to remain active online between streaming sessions. I need to be engaging other streamers and viewers across different channels and social media accounts, because viewers should generally know what to expect in my content and style. Authenticity, be yourself, be your unique self. In fact, we have Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan is this, sort of wild man who has his own streaming show online and who says, people love him or hate him. But the one thing about Joe Rogan is he's Joe Rogan. He's unique self. And that's one of the reasons why he's got such a following. So this is 2019, but you can see here the competition between streamers such as Shroud and Ninja. And it's kind of funny here because here's Mixer, which died. Mixer died. But you can see here how they compete amongst each other, but both of them have those attributes. Now, I mentioned Mixer. The news of Mixer shutting down came as a shock to everyone. The reason it came as a shock to everyone was that Mixer was sponsored by and supported by Microsoft, right? The company with endless pockets. But it was even more surprising to hear that their community will be moved to Facebook gaming. So why did Mixer fail against Twitch and against YouTube? It simply failed to take a chunk of the streaming market, and that was one of the biggest reasons it could not sustain. And that's even with Ninja, like the #1 streamer, basically jumping ship from Twitch to Mixer at the time. And what he got was a huge signing bonus, right? The signing bonus had nothing to do with how well he was going to do on streaming on Mixer. That was how much money he could pocket simply to put his face and his stream onto Mixer. It was not enough. His fans did not jump from Twitch to Mixer. Mixer died and became part of Facebook gaming. Okay. The other great thing about digital media, analytics. Everything online is captured. And so you can create your own My Analytics site. So you'll notice here when we talk about average views means the number of concurrent viewers in your stream, how many viewers there are at each point in time when you are live. And by impressions, we mean the number of digital views. So these are analytics that are telling me how well I've done on Twitch, how well I've done on Twitter or X now, how well I've done on Instagram, on YouTube, on Discord, and TikTok. You can already deduce from this how busy I am as a streamer and as an influencer and as an online personality if I am providing content to all of these different platforms. It's a full-time job, but it's one that's a heck of a lot better than most jobs that are out there. Now, how are analytics done? Analytics are primarily done through something called Social Blade. It's a statistics website that allows you to track your statistics and measure growth across multiple social media platforms. Those include YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. Okay. Social Blade ranking system aims to measure a channel's influence based on a variety of metrics. These metrics include average view counts and the amount of other channel widgets listed in it. Ranking refers to where a video ranks in search results, as well as the likelihood it will appear as a suggested video. Keep that phrase in mind. On YouTube, suggested videos, and these are things that appear in the right sidebar or at the end of a video, are the #1 traffic source. In other words, those individuals who are watching something on YouTube are so ingrained and so interested in the topic that when a suggested video is shown after the video they are watching, they are more prone to tap into it to immerse themselves further in that topic. Okay. Now, you got to ask yourself, what are the 10 most popular types of videos on YouTube? And this might surprise you. Video logs, vlogs, all right, individuals capturing their day, a day in their life, capturing a day at their job, what have you. Second are gaming videos, right? That's good news for esports. Third are comedy and skit videos. Then there are haul videos, which are precisely what it is. It shows someone and describes products they have purchased during a particular episode of shopping. This is my haul. Then there are tag or challenge videos, which are one of the few things that the mainstream media finally, taps into and shows, because it's the ice cold water on the head challenge and everything. Then there's the favorites and the best of videos, educational videos, and believe it or not, unboxing videos. Unboxing videos are exactly what they sound like. People opening boxes and narrating their actions. Now, unboxing videos are very popular with kids, racking up millions of views and tens of millions of subscribers. What's the equivalent of the mainstream media doing this? It's when they have those shows where you buy a storage container that hasn't been tapped for so many years, and with the cameras there when you open it up, only to discover that most of this was fraudulent and it was all set up anyway. Because what's the fun of opening a storage container that you paid a lot of money for only to find there's nothing in it, okay? Now, Twitch offers a variety of options for more traditional advertising on the platform, because again, advertising is big. There are available to people both video and banner ads in an array of placements throughout the site. Placement means how much real estate the ad can take. This is for allowing your brand to pinpoint exactly what users you want for your target audience. Okay? Data and influencers. That available is there so you can figure out, who do I want to advertise with? You can use viewing data to identify current influencers or rising stars, because all of this is intended to match the desired brand voice with the personality of the influencer, so that you're building a relationship with not only with the streamers, but with the streamers and their communities. Now I've got to talk about Discord. Remember, we're touching a lot in this mini course here. So, you can stop it, come back, you can have a sandwich, what have you. I got to keep going. Since launching in 2015, Discord has quickly become one of the top places for video game players to gather and communicate online. Hey, I thought that's what Twitch was for, right? But Twitch is large and Twitch has got a lot of other stuff, which is one of the reasons why Discord is growing fast. But it's growing fast in ways that will make it look like Twitch, but I don't want to jump. That's the last chapter. Discord counts more than 140 million monthly active users, up from 56 million at the end of 2019. The company also has 19 million weekly active servers. Now, what are servers? They're communities that contain multiple chat, voice, and video channels. Now, Discord, to distinguish itself from Twitch, offers some advanced features that make these servers more akin to online communities than just simply chat rooms. These servers, i.e. these communities, also offer real-time audio and video conversations. There are custom emoji and custom roles that distinguish users. So let's look at the business of Discord. Now, though Discord has typically been associated with online gamers, there's a growing number of users who are building Discord communities focused on other interests. What is this sounding like? Now, among Discord users, 70% say they use the app for gaming and other purposes, and that was up from 30% in early 2020. Now, non-gaming servers include those focused on TV shows, geographical regions, sports, memes, dating, and investing. Again, what does this sound like? This sounds like Twitch just chatting. Now, Discord generated $130 million in revenue in 2020, which was a 188% increase. But almost all of Discord's revenue comes from its Nitro. Nitro is Discord's premium enhancement bundle. Discord has over 140 million active users and 300 million registered accounts. In 21, it was valued at $7 billion, which was a doubling of its value. And the reason of this interest and increase is that it basically brings in the best of both worlds with servers that allow you to chat and voice channels to speak to each other. So gaming communities and friends have really ditched Skype, they've ditched TeamSpeak, and they moved into Discord as it is safer and integrated. Now, Twitch is not stupid. Twitch realizes that people are coming after it. So what has it done? It has made a deal with Discord so that Discord can be accessed and be part of the Twitch dynamic. Pardon me. Don had to sneeze. What do you know? Okay. Unlike most social consumer apps, Discord does not make money from ads. Remember I said the startup primarily makes money through Nitro. Now, what is this Nitro thing? Nitro is a service Discord sells for $9.99 a month, or such a deal, $99.99 a year. But it gives users additional features, such as animated emoji and high-resolution video. And so, this is how an affiliate program works, which is basically how a streamer gets paid, but I've already covered this, okay? Now I want to talk about HubSpot Service Hubs. Try saying that fast. HubSpot Service Hub. Service Hub is an all-around customer service software that connects a variety of tools into one consolidated platform. Now, it has help desk software to support your agents and an advanced ticketing system to help your team keep track of long-term service inquiries. This is part of customer relation management, okay? It's a knowledge-based software that helps customers find answers to their questions more quickly. Because if you're like me, if you see FAQ, you want to go crazy because odds are pretty good that the queue is not part of your queue is not part of the FAQ. HubSpot service also has a free live chat tool that you can install chatbots on and expand the bandwidth of your customer service team. And all of these tools are synced with the HubSpot customer relation management. For what purpose? So you can align marketing and sales operations alongside your customer service functions. Now, all of this, even this lecture on video, has got to have back-end operations. I'm not just streaming it to you live. What you're seeing is something that has undergone processing to make it available to you. And that's what's called transcoding and encoding. Transcoding, that is the process of converting an audio or video file from one encoding format to another. Why? In order to increase the number of compatible target devices a media file can be played on. Always for already encoded data to be converted to another encoding format. Now, this is important and particularly useful when targeting multiple devices. For example, whatever content you create, you want to be accessed by different mobile phones and or web browsers. In other words, devices without the same native formats or maybe with limited storage capacity. Now, wouldn't it be neat if there was something that took all of that into consideration? There is. Encoding is the process of compressing video and audio files to be compatible with a single target device. Okay. Side effect is a certain amount of data may be discarded and audio and video quality decreased. Encoding can use lossless compression, but it results in decreased compression rates and increased media files. So let's go here. Encoding again, the process of compressing video and audio files to be compatible with a single target device. We then want to take that encoded content and transcode it so that the content can be available to a number of compatible target devices that this media can be played on. Got it? Step one, step two. The world's largest provider of user-generated videos is YouTube, which receives an astounding 300 hours of uploads every minute. And it uses transcoding to make those videos available in 5+ different qualities and 5+ different formats, thus allowing original uploaded content to be transcoded into over 20 versions. Now, YouTube kicks off the encoding and transcoding process as soon as the original upload is complete, which is why new videos are often only available in low res until the high res videos are transcoded. Okay, so here's a good image of what is transcoding. Well, here we've got MPEG-4, we've got 1200 to 4000 kilobytes per second. We've got an aspect ratio of 1280 by 720, but we want all this to be available on phones, on tablet PCs, on laptop PCs, okay? The video raw file, it is then encoded, it's compressed, it is then transcoded, and then it is made available to all these different platforms. You gotta have it. That's exactly what this lecture has gone through when I upload it to YouTube. It's gonna be encoded first, then it's gonna go to YouTube, which will transcode it and make it available so that you can watch it on your tablet, your phone, or your PC. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is week one of our course on esports, digital marketing, and consumer engagement. I know it's quite a bit. Basically, it's almost like I'm cramming a 3-hour lecture into this. But that's what we have to do to make this course valuable to all of you and worthy of the units. So thank you very much. I'll stop sharing. I will say goodbye. I'm wearing my flamingo shirt since this is Florida Southern and I'm in Pittsburgh. No flamingos here, baby. But it's great. And I look forward to your assignments for week one and to engage you again in week two. Thank you. And discussion. Don't forget discussion. Bye.